Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley was at CPAC, and, well, you might have missed it because nobody really cared. Now, which is funny because the Republican presidential hopeful here gave a speech filled with red meat for the base. And with all the talking points, she still really wasn't even able to land it all that well. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that she had said.
But the Socialist Democrats don't just want to spend our money. They want to take our freedom. They think they have a right to order us around, from light bulbs we use to the words that we speak. And now they want to ban gas-powered cars and gas stoves. When it comes to destroying our freedom, the Socialist Democrats will never stop. Wokeness is a virus more dangerous than any pandemic, hands down.
That's just a sampling. But basically, you get the gist. A lot of socialist Democrats. Girl, I wish the Democrats were socialists. That would be great. But no, it's just
in Venezuela.
More of that. And of course, the whole, woke ideology.
The wokers.
It's more dangerous than any pandemic. Really? Wait. How many people has wokeness killed? How many? I mean, I'm really curious. What's the body count on wokeness? We do have a body count on a pandemic. Let's take the most recent pandemic. 1.1-ish million Americans have died as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's do the math here. Wokeness, 0. COVID-19, about 1.1 million Americans. But no, it's wokeness. It's the wokeness that's the real problem. Oh, yes.
The wokers.
I mean,
woke mob.
The woke mob's the worst thing in the world. The worst ever. Yes, you can't get worse than the mob, than the wokeness, the wokers. Jesus Christ. Now, she also talked about, as you heard, banning gas stoves, which is not a real thing. No, nobody is banning gas stoves.
You idiot.
It's just ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Total red meat. Now, she had also said that she'd stop giving money to countries that hate America, but then refused to name any. Oh. Okay, so what this is that it's basically she is showing that she's an incredibly establishment politician, that she has absolutely no substance and refuses to actually get into details. She refuses to actually criticize Donald Trump in any substantive way, has no substantive criticism. And by the way, there's no substance to Nikki Haley at all, to her campaign. Her main thing is, I'm not old. I mean, I love Donald Trump and I love Meg and I love all their ideas and they're so fantastic. I just think that we should be a little younger. That's all. We're still a little, politicians too old, and they should take mental competency tests. So look, she really, she got a couple of applause lines out of it. Some, I would say, polite applause. Okay. But really, it didn't feel like there was a whole lot of people that were very interested in what Nikki Haley was saying. And it was just a normal, standard conservative at this point. And it's insane that it's somehow now standard, those talking points. But you hear them everywhere. And so it's not really a surprise to hear somebody talk like that anymore. That said, let me show you how many people were there at during Nikki Haley's speech. Wow. Packed house. Just look at all those people. So many people there. So many people there. Wow. Now, multiple reporters noted that the hall at CPAC was only half full for Haley's speech. But that said, let's be fair, okay? Maybe she would have gotten more applause had more people actually gone to CPAC. I've already noted that as a result of, I would guess Matt Schlapp's the recent allegations against him, that a lot of people have not been really rushing to go to CPAC. But you could also talk about, getting back to the pandemic here, a lot of conservatives die. I mean, and that's not funny, and I'm not laughing at that, but it's the fact that this year's CPAC is not enforcing any sort of mask guidelines, because the last time they tried to do that, it was just chaos. Right-wingers did not enjoy that. So no mask guidelines, no vaccination guidelines, nothing like that. So it's basically a petri dish. And then you had a lot of right-wingers who refused to mask and vaccinate ended up dying of COVID. So, maybe that's one reason that there's not as many people going to CPAC, is that a lot of people who normally go to CPAC might not be around anymore. And that is, of course, very morbid for me to talk about. And, maybe that's, oh, Jeff, you can't say that. Yeah, that's terrible things that you're saying. Why would you say such things? I'm not celebrating, anybody's, death. Just saying, like, that could be a reality of why people are not going to CPAC. I don't know. There could be a multitude of different things, different reasons why the attendance is pretty bad. That said, I do want to show you another video here. This is not Nikki Haley. This is another person who had spoken at CPAC. And, I want to show you the amount of applause she received.
And while I'm still committed to saying no money to Ukraine, and that country needs to find peace, not war, and while I will look at a camera and directly tell Zelensky, you better leave your hands off of our sons and daughters because they're not dying over there.
That felt a lot more lively and looked a lot more lively than Nikki Haley. And look, I noticed something interesting, right? If it's one thing that right-wing voters despise, it's going to war, which, by the way, is a sentiment that is shared among all sides of the electorate. The American people are not interested in going to war. We're not interested in personally involving our country in Ukraine. And so, by the way, that is a sentiment that is also shared by the Biden administration. No troops in Ukraine, no boots in the ground. That's good. Again, I don't think I've met anybody who supports Ukraine saying, oh, yeah, we should definitely go involved. We should get in the ground. No. No Democrat, by the way, has supported, that I know of, supported sending troops. And if they did, I would be massively against them. So, again, now getting to what Green said, there's a false narrative, right, going on about, of course, all things related to Ukraine. Zelensky wants you to bring your sons and daughters to die for Ukraine. No, that's not what's going on. No. Look, if you want to have a conversation about how much money we're sending to that country, to buy weapons, well, that's a conversation that I'd be willing to have, okay? Because, yeah, I do think there is an issue with sending unlimited amounts of weapons of war to anywhere in the country and being the world's arms dealer, especially when, at the same time, our government's like, oh, healthcare for everybody? How can we afford it? How are you going to pay for that? But like I said, we can have a conversation about that. That said, the reason that I wanted to show you that video is, again, the difference of excitement here in the crowd. Marjorie Greene versus Nikki Haley. Now, look, Marjorie Greene is a fake populist, whereas Nikki Haley is, again, that establishment politician. And she's been around for a very long time and has flip-flopped on so many issues that nobody trusts her. Add to the fact that she can't even come up with an argument as to why Republican voters should choose her over Donald Trump, which at this point is the favorite. So Nikki Haley, once again, reinforcing, in my belief, that she doesn't have a chance in hell at getting the nomination.